There used to be a party at this place called Battlebridge Road, and it was the first warehouse parties really, but we didn't think about it as being the first warehouse, but they were just warehouses that we managed to get hold of. There was one, it was in the back of King's Cross called Battlebridge Road, and Sean, my brother, and Bruce, who was Nana's husband, we were all in the same band anyway, so they were DJing, and Rose Boy, our friend who's a writer, she was on the door, and me and Julie and Willie, and then me and Nana used to run the bar. The bar was a bath, essentially. So that's why I'm laughing. It was a giant bath with ice in it, well, a little bit of ice in it, and loads of beer, and everything was a pound. You had to try pound, everything was a quid. It was that awesome hot Libra milk, nice. It's really classy. It was the best one, and Noel and Maurice Watson, and just really great people who are still family, you know, because you do that kind of partying with people when you're young, do you know what I mean, like guerrilla warfare, you don't really lose each other, do you know what I mean, it gives you a really strong bond, and every generation has their rebellion and their brilliant thing, but I do feel a bit sorry for young people now because everything's so legislated. You can't do anything. You have to have a license for everything. Nobody gave a shit then. You used to do whatever you wanted. You just like bus up in some place, set up a sound system, quid on the door, quid for a beer, and they'd leave you alone, really. As long as you weren't beating up anybody or like giving people grief, you could kind of just get on with it. And then they realised they can make money out of it. I remember the Young Ones had just started, and it was just some show. I think it was Kevin, our friend Kevin Allen, who's Keith Allen's brother, Kevin's director, called up and said, "Can you come and be the band in the kitchen?" And we just went, and it was just another next TV show that's been following me around ever since. But I love it actually. But I saw it the other day, and I'm so young. I look like I'm storing nuts in my. I'm like this. Literally about 12, jumping about. And my brother's in it, who passed away 25 years ago. So it's particularly lovely now, actually, to have it. It's an amazing thing. Well, you know what? This is my first spot where I've got an actual kitchen. In the birdcage that we were running before, we did banquets and feasts. I didn't even have a kitchen. We used to rent in the like range cook. I need to set fire to one of the chefs because I put the wrong gas bottle on. I should be saying it's completely illegal. Plugged it in, turned it on, it just went woof, the whole thing. So yeah, we used to call it guerrilla cooking because we would just strap it all on, lug it about. Hello, darling, this is my forager. This is Anton. He's brought me amazing stuff. Beautiful wild garlic and incredible stuff in there. I'll be 2 minutes, yeah? And the first dinner party we did upstairs, we literally had a little hob like this, and I managed to work out some crazy menu. I roasted all these chickens. I did tuna sashimi with this like orange caramel, and then I had Nana's daughter Tyson making little Swedish potato cakes on the hob, and with greens on a wok, and then the other hob was like, but we got it out, and there was this woman called Frances Cottrell, who's a food PR. She was supposed to have a party, and it got shut down, dinner vote, so she went, "Will you do it?" I was like, okay. And you know, I just think if you hurl I am a believer in hurling yourself at stuff with all your heart and all your soul, and you will get there in the end, you know what I mean? It might be a bit rough around the edges, but I'd rather that, and it had somebody's entire heart in it, than it was like really slick and soulless. I can't remember a time when when both music and food were not there, do you know what I mean? Like we always danced at home. My dad had an amazing record collection. He loved to cook. He was a real bon vivant, really, actually. He was a nightmare, but he was really amazing. Had really great taste in music, and he was a really great cook. So it was kind of central to our home life. And then I think loads of my relationships, like mine and Nana's relationship, based on music and food. Me and my friend Sandra, based on music and food. I think it's been my way of finding intimacy and comfort and solace and joy and nurture, like all my life, really, through both. Like Nana and I haven't seen each other for ages. The first thing we'll do is cook. And because you don't need words, you know, it's like with music, you don't need to kind of fill in all the gaps. It's just there for you, like innately within what you're doing, you know? So. So I'm always looking for the bottom end of flavour, because I think one of the things that happens with, so often we get things that are slightly disappointing, and it's because there's only one layer of flavour in them. When you eat something, in the same way that when you listen to a tune, you want middle, bottom, top, you want all those things to be going on. So you get one bit and you want the next wave and the next wave to come. So if you eat something that's just got one salty note or one sour note, it's a bit like, meh, meh. Do you know what I mean? So we're always trying to like whack stuff in the bottom end to kind of give you breadth and depth, and that's where the sexy comes. Food should be sexy, do you know what I mean? I cook for my family all the time. I love cooking for my family. I cook for my daughter. Me and my daughter, you know, it's funny. She really, Nikita really resisted it. It was her rebellion against. She was like, no, I'm not going to spend my life cooking chicken. Hey, cooking chicken. Do you know what I mean? And now we make all sorts of incredible things together, like beautiful. We're really into our vegetable juices in the morning. She's living with me at the moment, which is so much fun. And we make sashimi, we're making. Tomorrow, we are making, because we're very into, like, we're working out a lot, being really, really healthy, clean eating, which is an annoying phrase, but it's a good notion, just so that you feel fresh and, like, invigorated and revitalised by the food you eat, not like you want to lie down and, you know, top yourself. It's like, ah, you know, so especially in this time of year, you know. So tomorrow we're making a squid and prawn paella, but we're using cauliflower rice. So it's going to be riced cauliflower with broccoli and loads of beautiful vegetables running through it. And then we're going to griddle off all the prawns and the squid and saffron going in there, a little wine. It's going to be gorgeous. So we cook together all the time. The thing about cooking with another person, it's like dancing. You can't cook with everybody in your space, because it's an intimate thing, you know. So there are some people you just bump into when they stand on your feet and just think, oh my God, get out. Do you know what I mean? So to be really honest, we cook in the same house, me and my husband, but we don't really cook together because he gets on my nerves. I'm not patient enough. But he cooks great stuff, we just don't do it at the same time. I don't do that much practicing. I think about it quite a lot. I walk about it within my head, and then I go, this is what we're going to do. And generally we serve it that day. So we don't do that many practice runs. And it generally doesn't go wrong. We extrapolate on it, and I sort of expand on it and stuff. But it generally is in my head for long enough. I know exactly how I want it to be in taste, and I know what the balance is going to be and all of that stuff. So really, it's my happy place. It's just, I mean, I'm so grateful. You know, in life, there's just beautiful things, opportunities that are afforded you, you know, and I'm so grateful to be here with this team of people doing what I'm doing. It's just a joyful thing, having because we did quite a lot of pop-up stuff as well. Having the time and space to be in one place is a real gift, because it means I can really balance the menu and really sort of move things around. And it's like painting, it's like art, or writing a song or anything like that, because you step back from it, and then you get right in close with it, and you know, it's a journey every day. So like just now when you and I were looking at the menu, I'm looking at it and thinking, yeah, I do like it, but that's going to have to move. Do you know what I mean? I'm probably satisfied for about a day, and then I go, ooh, and I want to tweak stuff. Go right ahead, sweetheart, don't you worry, don't be silly. Get your beer, love. Yes. So it's always tweaking. Thanks, Anton. See you later. Where do you go foraging?
Yeah.
Everywhere.
So there you go. That's what I said. See you later. Well, I think a pub is, you know, pubs are brilliant. The pub is a brilliant thing. It's terribly sad that so many pubs all over Britain are closing. And I think part of the problem is that pubs have forgotten what they're meant to be. A pub is not just a place to go get battered. A pub is a place for the community. It's what community centres were before they built those horrible community centres all over the place. It's where people used to come with their families to be together, births, deaths, marriages, you know, and everything in between. You know, it's like where kids grew up together. I always used to... I mean, this is ridiculous, and I digress. I always used to be one of those kids outside the pub in a car with a bag of crisps and a fizzy drink. I thought it was really exciting because my dad never went to pubs, and I thought it was amazing. I was like, I want to be left in the car with a bag of crisps. Why not? Anyway, but I think one of the reasons that pubs are losing themselves is that they've forgotten what they are. You know, and we really try here. You know, we have a little thing, the people make the pub, in all of Rob's pubs, and that's really, really true. You know, someone here the other night said it was like Cheers in here, but I loved it. I loved that because that's kind of what you want. You want people to feel like it's a home away from home, but there's a lot less effort involved, and they don't have to talk to their family if they don't want to. Exactly. I'm here every day, except one day a week. I have 1 day a week off now, which is amazing, and it's, you know, I've had to learn how to turn my head off. It's completely part of it's because, like, in my whole entire body, it's innate within me. I dream it. I dream recipes, I dream service, there's a ticket machine in the kitchen, and I wake up in the middle of the night because I think something's on. Is there something on? No, you're in home and you're in bed, go back to sleep. But I kind of really enjoy being so possessed, actually. I'm quite hyperactive, and this is the first time in my life I feel like I'm using up all of my excess energy. And that's quite a nice way to feel when you're quite a hyperactive person, because I'm sitting around like that, do you know what I mean? So it's quite nice to say, you know what, I'm completely knackered, I'm just going to lie down. It's like, finally, someone's tired her out. Finally, she's knackered. It's good. And to be possessed by something that is so beautiful and means so much to me. So, you know, you can be possessed by anxiety and all sorts of terrible things every single day. Life is a, you know, treacherous thing, tricky little road for people to go down. So for me right now, being completely possessed by something that makes me feel so happy and fulfilled and uplifted and sated is wonderful. It's a gift.